अच्छा लगा कि आपने ऐसा रिस्पांस दिया, इट रियली एनकरेजेस अस। और मैं ये वादा करता हूँ आपसे कि जो आपने ये देखा ये सिर्फ 5% है, फिल्म में इससे बहुत 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 ज़्यादा है।
The statement by Ranbir Kapoor got me thinking about the several possibilities in Animal and more importantly, how the elements of the trailer may have a different connotation altogether than what we assume. Before I get into three of the theories that may possibly be how Animal and its storyline shapes up, I want to reference the theme of twisted father-son relationships and how they have become the core cause of conflict in several movies across decades, and how there seems to be a unanimous connection that audiences feel in this dynamic getting explored. This is a tale as old as time. Mughal-e-Azam and the relationship shared between Emperor Akbar and his son Salim, forbidden love and how the father and son come at loggerheads with each other. The 1982 film Shakti starring Amitabh Bachchan and Dilip Kumar, a son resenting his father for upholding the law and living a straight-edged, honorable life, finds himself in direct conflict with the policeman. Agnipath and the pursuit of Vijay to avenge his father's death, the classic K3G and the adopted son who was the light of his father only to betray him as honor trumps over love. There are countless films exploring these dynamics even in the 2010s. I call Nasruddin Shah having the daddy issues cinematic universe. Ever since Masoom, films like Main Hoon Na, Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara and Gehraiyan explore the void that often gets created with abandoned or illegitimate children. Ranbir Kapoor himself has starred in several films where the father-son dynamic acts as a core emotional or motivating component of the film. You look at Wake Up Sid, Rajneeti, Barfi, Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, Tamasha and Sanju, fathers have played an essential part in exploring the deep aching his characters experience. These dynamics have always been popular, strike a chord with audiences, and I often wonder, is it because of the fractured relationships most Indian boys share with their fathers? The awkward dynamic we share with them, never truly being vulnerable or emotional with one another, while knowing and acknowledging we could turn the world upside down for each other. The impact that a mostly distant yet loyal male figure has on children can generate so much psychological discourse, but it's interesting to note how the Indian audience unanimously gravitates towards these dynamics. There is a reason why the first scene of the Animal trailer has struck such a chord with people, almost as if fictional characters were expressing the inner voice of most children who wouldn't dare saying the same publicly. You also do chime in the comments below why you think the father-son dynamic is so popular among masses as film narratives. So let's get into some of the wildest theories of how Animal may shape up in ascending order of it going absolutely bat crazy. The abandoned child. I think the most debated aspect about the Animal trailer is what may be the relationship that Bobby shares with Ranbir Kapoor and Anil Kapoor. I think the generic assumption is that Bobby is playing Bablu Prithviraj's younger brother, but it would be interesting if he has a deeper connection with Anil Kapoor's family. A wild theory is that Ranbir and Bobby Deol are actually step-brothers, and what makes the theory interesting is that Bobby may have been the true heir to the family business and the golden child of Anil Kapoor. If you see Charu, who is playing Anil Kapoor's wife, she seems to have a relatively large age gap with Anil Kapoor, so the assumption being that she is his second wife. The first marriage could possibly showcase Bobby being born, growing up as the heir to the throne, him handling the business and using twisted ways to monetarily benefit individually that does not go well with Anil Kapoor. The conflict that arises of the ways in which Bobby deemed it fit to run the business makes the father shun away the son, building up resentment and anger as Bobby comes in cahoots with the business rival played by Bablu Prithviraj. The hatred towards the father has reached such a point where they deem it fit to execute the rival so that they can rule together, only for the youngest son, aka Ranbir, to take charge and finish the threat that looms against Anil Kapoor. This dynamic reminds me of what was explored in Sarkar, with the father played by Amitabh Bachchan and the two sons played by KK Menon and Abhishek Bachchan. The first son seems to drift away from the morally correct ways of his father. This is met with abuse and constant conflict. The younger son returning from the States is alien to this dynamic and the ins and outs of the business practices businesses and politics in India. The shame that KK Menon brings to the family to assassinate his own father compels the younger son to not only kill his own brother, but to take charge of the business and politics and make sure the family is never in danger. This would be an interesting dynamic to explore because I vividly remember how effective it was in Sarkar. Anil Kapoor, the animal. See, all of us are assuming that Bablu Prithviraj and Bobby Deol are the antagonists. But what if Anil Kapoor is the real villain all along? I think it's pretty clear that the factory or the business is a front for some illegal activities that Anil Kapoor is executing. As we can see from the trailer, Anil Kapoor seems distant and obsessed with his work. He has no time for his son and barely has a connection with him. So what if, in his twisted mind, he is using the obsession of his son to his benefit? What if this psychotic fixation to prove his worth to his father leads to Anil Kapoor formulating a plan? The competition with rival businesses is adversely affecting Anil Kapoor professionally. So he formulates the hit job himself so that he can be wounded, knowing very well that his younger son will come rushing for his father. The total annihilation of the rivals is actually thought about by the puppeteer. Anil Kapoor, as his little loyal puppet, does all the dirty work for him. When the job is done and the bloodbath is finally over, Ranbir can finally feel accepted as the loyal servant he wants to be for his father. Only for Anil Kapoor to identify the animal he has created. The only solution to end this madness can be to finish him. Balbir Singh, in order to stay as the ruling king, utilizes his loyal commander to finish the enemies, only for him to kill the loyal servant when the job is done. The credits roll as Anil Kapoor manically laughs at the sky. The real animal is revealed. Fight Club. The craziest theory regarding Animal and how it may shape up is actually hinted at one of the dialogues said by Rashmika to Ranbir. She reprimands him and tells him, "You are fighting ghosts in your head. Do you even realize that?" This makes one assume that Ranbir may not be psychologically of a sound mind. What if the trauma from childhood has made him an obsessive freak where he only worships his father and in some twisted logic in his own head believes that in order to really prove his loyalty to his father, he has to execute the hit job himself. The assassination attempt was not executed by the rivals, but Ranbir himself, so that he can seize the opportunity to become the heir to the throne by going on a blood-soaked journey. He, of course, annihilates the rivals one by one. But what will be interesting is if the conflict with Bobby Deol is actually not rivals clashing against one another or stepbrothers who share the same trauma about their toxic father, but Ranbir dealing with his own demons. Bobby essentially being an alter ego of Ranbir himself. Bobby Deol presumably being a mute in the film further solidifies this theory. And what if all the sequences that showcase Bobby Deol going on a murder spree is actually Ranbir, much like how the narrator and Tyler Durden interacted with one another in Fight Club. The narrator is shocked at the development of events, thinking that it's all been the brainchild of Tyler's twisted mind, only to realize that it was him all along. There can be a shocking reveal regarding this, just like how our jaws dropped when it was revealed that Joaquin Phoenix as Joker never really shared any relationship with Sophie. It was all a figment of his imagination. Bobby is essentially the demon Ranbir constantly fights in his head, only to concede in the end and become him fully. Further solidified with this frame in the conclusion of the trailer. This will make Animal less a crime gangster film but more a psychological thriller, which will be absolutely bonkers if executed with conviction. The theories are totally wild, and you also need to tell me in the comments below of how this story may transpire according to you. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.